Well, now, can you get as little as 50 shillings only? And by the way, for those who are not Kenyans, how much is it? That is less than a half of a dollar. If you didn't know that, it's like 50 cents in terms of a dollar, half of a dollar. Can you get that each and every day? You know what? Gone are the days when people used to excuse themselves. Hey, Joseph, I can't invest. Oh, Joseph, I can't build myself. Yes, as much as we're going to blame the government for our misfortunes and what have you, then control the controllables. Do that what you can, and then you can propagate yourself to the next level. Today, and right now on this video, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go down there. I'm trying to look for those guys who usually don't earn like a lot of money, say in a particular day, and I'm gonna give them a very nice, simple strategy that they can actually use, be able to invest and achieve those ultimate dreams. Perhaps you're here, you don't even have those money that I actually talk about, 50,000, 100,000, a million and what have you, and you always feel like you're being left behind. Now, today is that particular video. This only 15 minutes. I'm gonna share this video with you. Stick around, make sure that you watch it to the end and give me a like. By the way, why? Because if you do that, another individual like you will actually get this video and will get the help. And if you have never subscribed to this YouTube channel, go ahead and hit that subscription button, turn that notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video, because this is exactly what I do each and every day. It's by the grace of God. All right. Oh my goodness, it's by the grace of God. Okay, now let's get in the business. Now here we are, we want to invest ourselves, or we only have 50 with us. 50, and I've said 50 is equivalent to, I don't know how they write cents in US, I don't know, 0.5 or something or sort. Yes, that is exactly the amount of money that you have, less than a dollar, half of a dollar. Let me just call it half of a dollar. Okay, now what exactly do you do if you can raise this amount of money daily, each and every day, daily? Okay, by the way, if you're not a Kenyan, 50 shilling in Kenya will get you what? Wow, will get you, wow, very few things, but it can actually probably can get you a cup of coffee in an average place, in a restaurant or something of sort, or maybe a tea or something of sort. It can get you some 2 chapatis, those rolled tortillas and what have you. It can actually get you that. Okay, so it's not quite a huge chunk of cash. It's that money that I know almost everyone can actually afford to get it, and I stand corrected for those who cannot, with all the due respect. Okay, now here, so if you can actually manage to raise this amount of money, you only need to identify another individual who can raise similar amount of money, and you are in good terms. What do I mean? You are in good thinking. For example, here you are, you have your 50 here, all right? You only need to identify the second individual who can be able to raise the similar amount of money, and guess what happens now? That second individual need to identify another individual who can raise that amount of money. Simple things. What am I talking about? I'm simply saying, if you can manage to pull 10 guys, only 10 people in your pool. Let's say maybe these are the people whom you work with. Maybe they are in Kenya. We have things, we call them the boda boda. Boda boda are these taxi, motorbikes who take people from one place to the other and what have you. So you can actually pull 10 people, and most of these guys, they usually have more than 10 people in their stage or something or so. So if you can be able to pull only 10 people who can manage to raise this, because let me tell you one thing, as much as you're going to complain the government and what have you, the question is this: what can we do as individuals before the government does what we think and believe they ought to have done? So that is exactly what you do it. Now the question is, if you can be able to get this amount of money and get only 10 people by your side, guess how much you're going to have yourself? You yourself, if you're an individual, if you can only raise 1,500 at the end of the month, that is what you raise. You have two options. You can either find 10 people and merge with them and be able to realize something. If you're not an individual who really works well with groups and what have you, just like I do, you can go ahead and do it by yourself. That is very much possible. In short, what am I talking about? I'm talking about, can you be able to raise only 1,500 in a single month, in the rest of the second, or in the next 30 days? Can you be able to raise that? Because not everyone will be able to get this amount of money each and every day. Some of them, some of you guys are employed. Probably you're earning a salary of less than 10,000. Others are actually at around 15,000 and below, or 20,000 and below, in that particular category. So if you can be able to get 10 people raising this amount of money, or if you can get yourself raising this amount of money, that would be the greatest. Why am I insisting 10 people? Let me show you the magic here. All right. Now, here you are. You have yourself and other 10 guys, or other 9 guys, if you included, you are 10. Now, what happens is that is 1,500. Each of you multiplied that by 10, and by the way, these people, to find them is not complicated. Just look at your locality. By the way, if you go to your phone book and you have like 200 people and you cannot even pull 10 people who are committed to raising 1,500 each and every month or 50 shilling each and every day, then I don't think you really need those guys in that particular phone book. And that is why you actually go back, you never achieve anything, because you have a lot of people who means nothing to you as far as the growth is concerned. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, you guys be raising, guess how much? 15,000 each and every month as that group. Why am I insisting 10? 10 in Kenya, you can actually go ahead and register this particular group. You can actually register this particular group and actually be given a certificate. And once you're given a certificate, guess what happens you can do? You can open an investment account. I did not say a savings account. I said an investment account. And investment accounts in this regard are variety. But if you ask me, my proposal would be, because these are people's money and you don't want to risk this money to people, obviously I wouldn't advocate you go for a fixed account, because that's not give you a quite of a good returns. Again, I wouldn't advocate you go and put that money in a quite a risk area. So let's look at the areas where we call them the low risk investments. Low risk investments. And the low risk investment, and those are bills, those are bonds, and those are what? MMFs. And we can as well talk about yeah, although I was about to include something like a balance fund, but that one is a little bit riskier, not compared to the three of them. Now the question is this: do you guys qualify for our bills? This one you need a minimum of 100k, so probably you may not be able to be investing that particular thing each and every month unless you have pull the resources or the funds, and then later you can invest it. The bonds requires the 50k again as a minimum. I'm regarding or with reference to the Kenyan system. Again, you may not be able to pull that each and every month unless you pull those resources, then later you can invest. And you know where I'm heading. Of course, you guys will be telling me I'm an MMF ambassador. You go there. Why? Because almost everyone can qualify to open a money market fund. That's why I try the best as I can to push it out there, and you can be able to do something. And you know what? You can actually use this money market fund as a basket to actually grow your capital. This MMF, you guys, can you imagine be throwing 15,000 each and every day, or rather each and every month? In a period of 1 year, multiply this by 6, you guys, you have a good chunk of cash. And remember one thing, this money is giving birth to other small money. So it's adding up. So obviously you won't get up with, I think this is around 90,000. You won't end up with that particular amount of money. It will be more than that. You get what I'm saying? Is it 90,000 or something? Yeah, close to 90,000 actually. So you won't actually end up with 90,000. You're actually gonna end up with more money. And this is what you do. All right. My proposal will be this: have this kind of cash, because you guys, first of all, you're not employed. You're not looking forward to one day earn what we call the dividends. So how about you guys? You have this registered company. You register this one as a company, and then you can get the CR12. There's something called the CR12. And once you have the registered company, of course, there are some privileges that you enjoy in this great country once you have that CR12, or maybe your business is registered as a company. And then from there, you can actually go ahead and be able to even take loans if you guys are interested in taking loans. But this is what I would advise you guys to do. That money that you're getting each and every month, of course, with a clear deliberation among all the members. And probably you guys, if you're here, you can invite me. I can come to your place. I don't charge a lot, just a simple coins, and then I'll be able to guide you guys. Okay. Now you can actually sit down your members, yeah, if you're the chairs or if you're one of the executives, yeah. So you sit them down and say, you know what, each and every month we are raising 15,000. So what we can do is that let's put a huge chunk of this money towards a stable environment or stable investment. For that regard, you can decide each and every month we're going to be investing 13,000 in an MMF because it is stable. We can withdraw our money at any given moment. Then the remainder, which is 2,000, you can decide, guys, will be buying stocks or we'll be buying shares as a group. So each and every month, you guys, you're buying shares worth 2,000 each and every month, each and every month, each and every month. So continuously, you as a group, you have two systems of investments. You have diversified your cash. You have an MMF somewhere, and you guys, you have some stock whereby you are piling it up. And guess what happens now? You are spreading the risk. Rather than getting into it by yourself, this is the money that you guys, you brought together. You have actually spread the risk, and you're actually investing as a group. And guess what happens now? The moment the dividends are starting to flow in, you guys, you can decide either you take that dividends for the purposes of something we call the welfare. There is something called welfare. Welfare of the group, this is whereby maybe someone want to have maybe a party, maybe something has happened, and God forbid, that money can actually be used. Or maybe sometimes you guys were meeting somewhere to deliberate the next moves as far as your group is concerned. Some of the dividends that you get out of this cash, or maybe some of the interest that you're getting out of this cash, you can actually decide maybe that's what we'll get in our coffee with and what have you. Guys, I'm telling you things that I do. Are we together? This is not a theories or something of sort. Now, the point is this. That is if you operate from the group perspective. One thing that you're supposed to understand, you may have your 1,500 somewhere, and someone else may have 1,500 somewhere. But when you have that, energy divided, you cannot be able to achieve great things. But when you guys come together and decide to do something as the 2 of you or the 10 of you or whatever the number of you are, then you can be able to have a higher purchasing power. You cannot compare the purchasing power of 15,000 compared to that of 1,500. And that's why it says, it means, or rather, it's actually simpler to understand that if you have that amount of money, then you can decide to be investing in these particular areas and you can get some influx of cash. And by the way, let me give you a very simple example. I was once invested, and I don't know why I love using this example because it was so inspiring and I feel like it's good I share with you. I was once invested in one of the group that is not that wealthy. They are quite of an average guys out down there. They do what we call, they use the donkeys to fetch the water and supply water in the locality and what have you. And this kind of a thing that I told them, guys, that money that, by the way, they were actually contributing as little as 50 shilling each and every day. But it was a bit open, whereby you can put a minimum of 50 to maximum to of whatever you can actually afford. So people used to have different number of shares. You may find in a group of 10, some people have more shares than others, depends on how much you contribute each and every day. So they are actually having that kind of a thing. And then their money was just lying idle in a bank. I told them, guys, you know what? You don't have to have this money idle in a bank. You can actually decide to throw it in an investment because your group is registered. You guys, you have the certificate. You are recognized. So you can open a bank account. Then it means you can actually go ahead and open a money market fund. Because even from the same bank where your money is actually fixed or lying idle, so to speak, they even offer what we call the MMF. So why don't you throw that money out there? Be getting that 11%, be getting that 12%, be even getting that 10% is far much important than getting zero. And top of that is far much important than your money actually losing value because of what we call the inflation. Are we together? Now, that is if you view it from a perspective of a group that you can come together, form, and be able to propagate yourself towards achieving your dreams. And maybe, guys, you can actually get into this group. Probably, some of you may not be good at having groups, but the point is, you may actually go ahead and have this kind of a plan and be like, you know what, we're going to invest for the next, say, 5 years, all right? And once the 5 years lapses, whatever we're going to be having in terms of our investments, we're going to divide all that cash, everyone get their share, and they go actualize whatever they want. Because some of these groups usually have some stubborn people in between. So you can actually have a capping, or you can decide, by the way, we're going to be having this, the contract that you're getting, the 10 of us, we're going to be yearly, okay? You're going to have an yearly contract. Because some of you guys, you have a problem with saving money by yourself. What do I mean by having a yearly contract? Whereby you are a registered group and you be like, guess what? We're going to share, or we're going to, what do you call, contribute this money, put it in an investment for the next 365 days. So once the 365 days lapses, anyone has the right to exit the group, get their money, full share, or whatever the things you guys can agree, and then you can go your own ways, okay? Rather than just leaving it in an open-ended. I'm telling you this because I've been a chair of 2 groups, and I'm telling you it becomes a hectic, especially when money is involved. You find people, I don't know how they reason with the moment money is actually on the equation. So the point is, you can even be having an yearly contract. So say each and every year we can review. Should we continue with the group? Should we do away with the group? And you can just imagine, you've been contributing your 1,500 continuously for the next set of months. That's quite of a good money anyway. It's not that huge, may not even actually maybe like buy you a big thing, but at least, for God's sake, it's out of 50 shilling that you're contributing each and every day. So you can go ahead and do something. This one is enough to go buy you some few birds of chicken, and there you are. You can buy some few animals, and there you are. You can buy 2 or 3 goats. There you are. You have a business running if you maybe operate from the up country places, or maybe you can get your money, throw it in an MMF by yourself, and keep pushing that investment. Or maybe you can just decide to get that money, start your own small business somewhere. Maybe you come from you get what I'm saying. You can be able to do something with that cash. out there. The other option, of course, which I was giving you is doing it by yourself. If you can get that 50 shilling by yourself, of course, there is no money market fund in Kenya where you can be throwing 50 shilling each and every day, unless you match the today's 50, the tomorrow's 50, or whatever. You match it together. Maybe you reach there. If you join a money market fund that you need a minimum of 100 shilling, then you can proceed with that. If you go the one that actually you need a minimum of 1,000, you actually, sort of put together all those 50 until you hit the day 20 where you hit your first 1,000, then you deposit it out there. So it depends on how you would like to view it from that perspective. If you feel you cannot really operate on group, then go the individual. If you feel like you really need some guys by your side because you understand them better, then proceed with you having them on board and have a very distinguished way of understanding of working. And of course, either you can decide to go the contractory way, or you can have an open-ended contract with these guys and proceed to the next level. Guess what? That was my submission. Just like I said, I'm going to do it in 15 minutes, and there it is. Anyway, guys, don't forget this. This is Good Joseph speaking. And if you'd like to get hold of me in one way or the other as far as the investment is concerned, go ahead and pick that number from the description of this specific video. Give me a call. Let's talk business. You can as well get my booklet. I have a variety of them: bills, bonds, money market fund rates, others about shares, tackles, and what have you. So you can get any copy that you would like to go ahead and read it. For now, it's a goodbye and see you in the next one.